Welcome back. Alright, so I'm going to have a bunny in this video because people who watch videos on this channel, there's normally a rabbit. So this is one of the 5-week-old bunnies. Hey, sweetie. The black ones tend to be kind of friendly, and they kind of stay put. This one is basically this is the really fat one, so if you've watched the bunny videos, this is the one that started out much bigger than the other ones. This is the one that when the internet was saying, so don't feed it pellets, don't give it anything, it was already eating food that the internet said you're not supposed to be having yet, so nobody told. I'm assuming her. So we'll see. But I want to talk about Flash a bit. Now, I've talked about Flash before. Here's where things get weird. So last season it was a disaster, right? And the season before that was half okay, half what's this mirror universe crap about. So it kind of didn't work either. So what they've got going on right now is Armageddon, which is a 5-part mini series where Flash is supposed to destroy the world, so he has to whine about it. That's basically it. Barry Allen's presented with the idea that he does something stupid, and immediately he sets forward to do something stupid. We're at a point now where Flash might be the weakest character on his own show. And that's I say that, and yet Armageddon's been better. Armageddon has been better than what last season was. There are some obvious issues with the show. We're three hours into this. I still have no idea what's really going on, and I don't understand why. When people come back from the future and it's, I must destroy you before you have a chance to destroy the planet. Okay, why today? Well, because you're going to lose your mind today. So why didn't you just come back and destroy me like, I don't know, 5 years prior to this? I wouldn't have expected anything. Maybe come in when I'm fighting Grodd, and then you could have just destroyed me then, or when I'm distracted with Eobard Thawne or something. So if you haven't watched this week's episode, there's some spoilers coming up, so if you don't care, keep watching. Based on view counts for the Flash videos, I don't think anybody's left that cares. So I am wearing my brand new Rammstein hat. I got this through their website. They finally released a baseball cap. I'm like, yes, good, awesome. Finally, we're Rammstein. This is my new Sensuk t-shirt. This is my third. I've worn out 2. This is my third. We'll see how long this one lasts. I do tend to wear out Rammstein shirts. They're the only rock band that I'm going to wear out the shirts. I'm going to wear them a lot. But the whole idea with Barry at this point is that he is really whiny. He's going to destroy the world. He's going to the future to try to stop what happens. But the thing is, Despero, who's the villain slash anti-hero in this, I don't know. Are we supposed to see him as the villain? Are we supposed to see him as the one that's trying to save the planet? I think we're supposed to, but I really don't. Hi, sweetie. What are you getting all spazzy for? What is it? What is it? Oh, did you have an itch? Okay, she had an itch. She had an itch that was bothering her. Hi. Okay, do you have to be higher up? Okay. All right, so she had to be higher up. She gets that from her mom, I guess. But, and I say her even though we're not sure whether it's a boy or girl at this point. But with this whole storyline now, Barry goes to the future, and all of a sudden, Eobard Thawne is married to Iris, and they're angry that they see Barry. And part 4, they've done the preview for, so Damien Dark's helping Barry and Barry's Reverse Flash, and I don't know. So I guess that means Thawne as Flash is the one that's going to destroy the world, and Despero's wrong. But we know Despero's wrong. But is Despero working with Thawne? Why? I'm left 3 hours into this going, why? So we brought back the Still Force because, sure, why not? One thing with the CW shows right now, and I've been mentioning this a lot on Legends of Tomorrow, is it's starting to feel like both on Legends of Tomorrow and on The Flash that it's like Doctor Who with the sonic screwdriver. There were times during Doctor Who's history where the reliance on the sonic screwdriver was ridiculous. It was just, oh, we're locked in here. I can use the sonic screwdriver to open that. I can use the sonic... And it's like, wait, it's never been established the sonic screwdriver can do that? And just every episode would end with, all right, sonic screwdriver time, which was kind of a Matt Smith 11th Doctor thing. So when they got to the 12th, they took the sonic screwdriver away from Peter Capaldi's Doctor for a bit, because I think they realized there's been an over-reliance on it. And it feels like on Legends, there's this weird thing that all of a sudden Astro, when they're in a bad situation, goes, "Oh, I have a spell for that." Since when? What, you magically have a spell now for that? That seems really specific. And with Flash, it just feels like there's this Deus Ex Machina thing that happens too. Like, oh, we're in this situation. Oh, quick, I have something in the garage. Like, Chester, I have something in the garage to fix that. Wait, what? No, come on, seriously? And then, Despero fries Dylan's brain, and she's left bleeding from the ear. And then the line that made me laugh this week was that Caitlin goes over, touches her wrist, and goes, "She's barely alive." Okay, you can't know that from touching somebody's wrist for 1.5 seconds. But that's your standard superhero thing, right? That they know things that they can't know. You know, they're dying. You can't know that right now. Just, you can't. You're not a doctor, and you don't have them like hooked up to a machine. You can't know that. But in superhero shows, they somehow do know all this. I'm hoping that when this is done, it feels like too, part of what they're doing is they might be trying to change the series and refresh it. So they get them out of Star Labs. So they're just in a garage. There's moments I have in this show where I'm like, how do any of these people make money? How do any of these people have a job where they actually make money? Like Cecile, I don't know how she's making money right now. I can't figure it out. And I mean, Cecile, I love the character, what she is. She might be my favorite character in the show. It would be Allegra if she ever used her powers for anything other than just looking at the train station. That was weird. But there are signs that things are getting better. But again, there's signs that things are getting better with the show. And then you have to come back to the fact that their main star, the Flash, might be the weakest character on a show called The Flash. It is a major problem. And it's not like Legends where you can just rotate whoever the Legends are. So Mick leaves Legends of Tomorrow, and I miss Mick Rory a lot on the show. But it's still a good show, and there's a whole ensemble cast. Team Flash is an ensemble cast, but with the Flash being kind of the weakest of the characters. And I thought it was weird too. So they bring in the Atom for the first episode, and then he goes away. Second episode, we do kind of a Supergirl tie-in, but it's lazy, so that goes away. Third episode, Black Lightning comes in. Doesn't do much, because the way this was really pumped up was, hey, so it's a crossover, it's this big event, and I'm like, oh, cool. So we're gonna see like, a Justice, the Hall of Justice, and we're gonna have Black Lightning and Kara Zor-El, and you're gonna throw the Atom into the superheroes. Now this is gonna be great. It's like Super Friends. No, no. And there were little things too. Like, I was like, why is the floor so wet in that warehouse? That floor is absolutely so. Why? What? Who came in and cleaned it, or what happened that the floor is that wet in the warehouse? It's just little things. Like, did Flash do like a speed mopping and not do like a speed drying? Because he could. He totally could. He can create fire. And at one point he did, and that didn't dry the floor. So the floors are wet and they're impervious to fire. And it's those little things. But again, I think what they're doing is they're trying to kind of, I mean, you can't reboot the series, but I think they're trying to bring in this multiverse idea again and backdoor it in there. So this is creating other realities. Barry goes into the future, and Despero's like, oh, great, you just killed the future. Okay, well, you're just making all these cryptic comments. You're not giving anybody an actual idea. Like, if you want to save the Earth, Despero, you're doing a crap job of it. You are doing the crappiest of crap jobs of it. You haven't tried to convince anybody. You just stand there, and then you're like, I better make the reactor work. Okay, why? Oh, okay, so you're going to do this and this. I'm bewildered at a lot of it. And it's still better than last season. I still find myself saying, when I watch this, I'm like, well, it doesn't really make much sense, and I don't understand what the whole motivation is for any of these characters, but at least it's not last season. It says a lot for how bad last season was, doesn't it? Anyways, I wanted to kind of discuss my feelings on the Flash so far, the Armageddon setup, and going into hours 4 and 5, and just see, like, where do you think it's headed? Does the show miss Cisco as much as I think it does right now? Do they miss Ralph as much as I think it does right now? it just feels like they're close to a really good show, and they're just a little bit off from it. But again, it's better than last year. Last year the ending was just, and then the Joe thing too. I'm like, wait, so Joe's dead, and they did it in a weird way that was kind of clever. That they don't show Joe and they don't have anybody talking about him until it's mentioned by Flash, and then somebody goes, Joe's dead 6 months, and the Flash loses it over that. And I thought that was clever, and I kind of wish the rest of the show was as clever as that. The one thing, I'll close on this, it's reminding me of Smallville. And it's reminding me of Smallville because CW shows suffer from what a lot of the superhero comic book shows suffer from. They don't have the budget. They don't have the necessary budget, right? So Flash goes into an apartment and trashes it and apparently flings people around. Well, I'll have to take their word for it because they didn't show any of it. They didn't show any of that. And when that happens, my first thought is, so this is a dream then. It's not actually happening because they didn't show it. That's my initial response every time is when somebody's in a destroyed area and they're like, I did this? My first thought is, okay, so this is a dream. And it should be. But they don't have the budget for all of it. And you can tell when Despero turns into his monster form, the CGI is terrible. The CGI is markedly worse, I think, on the show now than it used to be. There have been videos done on YouTube mocking the CGI of the Flash. And it reminds me of Smallville because at the end of the season with Doomsday, which was so well built up, and then it was so disappointing at the end because they had Doomsday die off screen, which again, I looked at that and I went, so Doomsday's not dead then. He can't be dead. They don't have him die off screen after building him up for the whole season. So the next season, I'm like, so there's got to be some kind of a backdoor where Doomsday's still there. There's something else. Nope. No, he's dead. Supernatural, too. There were times that they didn't have the budget. The thing was, Supernatural was a show about demons and about hell, so you didn't need the big budget. You could make things really, really creepy and atmospheric, and that could work, and you don't need CGI. The CGI on the Flash, they've either got to fix it, or they've got to start using practical effects. And if you can't make the CGI look good, if you can't make practical effects work on the part that you're doing in the show or in the movie, then find some other way to do it. And again, that's on the writers to find a way to make it both look good, because when the CGI is really bad in a movie or a TV show, it takes you out of it. I know it takes me out of it. My reaction is one of, well, that was, that dinosaur looked really fake, didn't it? And it's weird, too, because Legends of Tomorrow is on CW as well. Sometimes their CGI is a little dodgy, but in general, it's pretty good. Like when Gary turns into an alien, it's pretty well done. It's not perfect, but it's pretty well done. And then Despero turns into Monster Despero, and you're like, oh, that looks so goofy and so sci-fi-ish. It reminded me of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the villains on there. That's what it reminds me of. And if you want me to feel like a villain's a real threat, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles isn't the movie to remind me of. It's not the cartoon to remind me of either. So there you go. So for me and this little bunny, who we have still not named the babies, I know Adelaide's tried naming them, and I've said, look, we're not naming them yet. So from me and this one, that I'll just call Jet for now. She's a sweet little bunny. From myself and from her, thanks for watching. Thanks for still being subscribers. And I understand that this channel's content sometimes throws people off, but this channel was created because I would every now and then post things on the hockey channel that weren't hockey related, and people would have their brains explode. So I said, all right, well, I'll just create a secondary channel, and this is it. So thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. If you're watching Armageddon, are you following the plot line? But it is better than last season, so it's an improvement, even though the plot line doesn't necessarily make any sense. But let me know your thoughts. I did read through what Despero did in the comics, so I could kind of set myself up for this. I'm still bewildered. I'm still baffled. But let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. And I'll talk to you guys again soon.